Hey. I got to talk to her again.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
No, we're not looking to die. I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area novelty dice maker woman without a name?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
She nods as the wind howls in from the furnace shaft above. But how do you explain what happened to all those companies then?
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
Actually, Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
She raises her brows. Now, let's stay realistic. The bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers. And she's got to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going.
All right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
The whirling in rags is part of the... Hold on.
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project.
The East Delta Commerce Center project. We're getting closer to the conspiracy center, Kim. It isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying bills.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Well, it's because you're competent and dedicated to your craft. The curse doesn't affect people like you.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse, it's capitalism.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
The source. I forgot about the source. I think it still might be you that's somehow causing this. Narrow our eyes very mysteriously.
So I'm the grand dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim?
I yelled to summon the ghost of the doomed commercial area, and you were the one who answered.
Oh my, I've revealed myself.
She says in mock despair.
You better call the exorcists.
I don't have to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself.
Of course. How convenient.
She pinches the root of her nose.
Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
She turns back to her work.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She has been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
As far as we can see.
Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
What? How did you become a dice maker? We have to know all about her if she's the source.
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And roleplayers as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out of the window.
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the whirling's backyard.
He stops to try and come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
Yeah, the
She's
strike.
heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire. She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
She looks up at the window and pale light comes in. I see, thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
I have more questions about the building.
I'm listening.
There used to be a hair salon there, right? We have to know about all these inconsistencies.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
The confidence. Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customers should have been more open-minded. I mean, look at my hair. It's magnificent.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
Just wasn't the time. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else?
I found the creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insects rights activists? I didn't know insects had rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
They got what they deserved. Making clothes out of beetle wings is a terrible idea.
At least it had some spark to it. Most young designers just combine lace with leather and call it original.
She shifts in a simple workwear shirt.
Anything else?
She's not an insect then. That's gotta be clear. What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Very cool about the debris, but what's a snuff milieu?
It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims.
What?
Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that.
What?
As if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
This isn't about the man outside.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
And she lets the thought go. What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who was Artem?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
And maybe that's exactly what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
Her eyes narrows in the dim light. Come on, you must have heard him. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out of the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment. It's quiet.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
How did that community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
That's where he's getting
It's
the
not
stuff.
really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
I'm not so sure, Mr. Logic.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean by liberal and what happened?
The
What
usual.
caused this?
They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
So she liked them, but she didn't take them seriously. From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important.
It's too bad. It's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
I mean, with work. She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic
The
disc.
dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Oh, a weather dice.
Anything else?
What is it with the rotor blades and the skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri, or Hashtkor, or wherever he is.
And what do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
The smile widens, but before she sees the lieutenant's face behind you.
Men like that are a curse.
The lieutenant is stern.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those keys and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just props. Why return them?
Yeah. I found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me.
She rubs her forehead. Her scarf has left a faint line on her dusky skin.
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
So the doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
A strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream SCA. Someone answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years.
She looks like she doesn't really believe you.
Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
First, it wasn't Plaisance. I know her and would have recognized her voice.
Oh, right. But did this person say anything?
She still sounds skeptical. She said she was from Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics?
There's a moment before she recognizes the name.
It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
We can telephone through time.
No, it was something else. It was eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
I'm not sure. No, it was something else. It was something eerie.
Pranks can be eerie.
She looks as if she's still convinced it's nothing to be worried about.
The kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
Actually, the Slipstream mystery might be a recording. I called again later and got exactly the same message.
Why would Slipstream SCA have a 100-year-old recording as their doorbell message? Doesn't make any sense. I'm still convinced it was nothing more than some elaborate prank.
My money is on electrical anomaly. I've heard of these, especially in an old building like this.
He looks around. I was wondering about the whirling in racks. Is it part of the same building complex?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce
you
Center.
told us
If
that.
the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
The darkness affects all of this, and I saw a name East Delta Pinball on the doorbell. What's that about?
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick-track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
Lieutenant chips in.
His disdain for pinball could not be clearer.
Okay. You don't like pinballs. I have a few more questions.
Sure, I'm listening.
About the intercom?
I'm pretty
No?
sure it's still
Okay.
the... Sure, I'm listening.
You've told us everything.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
What does it cost to order a die
Of
from
course. Tell me what you have in mind.
you? Actually, we're out of
No
money.
need to rush. Take a look around, see if anything inspires you.
We will. Why hasn't her business failed? We might. It's out of the ordinary. It's extra, but we want to know.
You feel nothing. If anything, It's uncomfortably warm in here.
Yeah, we need to connect. We'll start taking off our clothes.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
The dice maker stares at you while you start to fuss with your pants.
Officer!
The lieutenant exclaims sharply. It's part of this special technique I have.
And what technique is that?
She squints at you, a little astonished at what she's hearing. You still haven't gotten your zipper open. Okay, now hear me out. Sometimes I get these feelings.
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering from an unusual medical episode.
Officer, this isn't how mature adults deal with their feelings.
Now you feel something. The cold damp of shame washing over you.
Ow. No, not like that. It's like I can feel the wind, or I don't know, the air pressure, and then the air tells me things.
The air pressure told you to take your pants off in my studio?
This is not going very well, is it? Word-wise.
No, I'm not explaining this very well.
Can you please employ this special technique somewhere else? I work here and my work requires concentration. Half-naked people don't help with that.
She turns away so that you can zip up your pants again. All right. But it was worth a try, you know. It was worth. Look at all of this, Kim. We need to recheck all of this. We might need to tell Plaisance. Oh, no, where are we? Wait. Have you heard that? There's some boots here. Seen these boots? Why are these boots here? And there's something moving. Still haven't found out about the password. Darkness from another time surrounded us. The bear was silent. Maybe we could find the password. I'll try this out again.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace,
Kick
colouring.
it.
A hollow ring echoes through
Ow.
the furnace. Your toe hurts.
That wasn't the best idea.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw.
Help someone.
Yeah, screaming isn't happening on account of extreme shortness of breath. You're just making it worse. Oh God, it's painful.
Remain conscious.
All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't even see her face. Like you always thought you would. You only see pain and fear. Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him. He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever met. Captain Ptolemy Price, the deceased superior officer, commented, "That ain't easy on the ticker." He loved his liquor, sure, said Detective Chester McLean, friend and colleague. But I think before he ever had a heart attack, his heart was broken. According to an official statement given by the RCM, the officer was on the brink of solving a murder case.
This cannot be the end, though. You know. It just cannot. That was just not a very good idea. This world is trying to kill us step by step. Every step of the way. Oh no, God. We'll not go for anything physical, Kim. It's just not a good idea. And that bear. We need to go back. Back here. Back into the staircase. And maybe back to Plaisance. Maybe we'll find something new. Who knows? There's an open compartment here.
This old fireplace is a diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
A forgotten being. We really need to know about this password. Wait, what's that? Have we been here or not? Oh, we've been here. Oh, thank you, yeah. There she is, the dice maker. Summoner of fate. You have to tell Plaisance about everything. Now let's pass. Oh, look. There's the
Looks
bear.
like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotorblades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
That's just speculation. We don't know anything
Not
for
quite.
sure.
You do know that there's something unusual about this company's business model.
Yeah. This company is something weird, and there's something weird here. There's this room that we cannot have access to, and we so would like to. Let's get back to this. Oh, wait. Here, this door. Is it that door that leads to anything? Have we just forgotten where we were walking to? Oh, we're back to the gym. No, is there something in this thing? No. Oh, what's this little ball here? Hello. A shot put ball. Where did it come from? I'm pretty sure we hadn't seen it yet. I will return. The metaphysical investigator returns to Plaisance, the bookkeeper. Keeper of fate. We're not gone, it's not too late. Yeah, we can now get rid of the headlights here, flashlights. Here we go. Plaisance, we have news.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there?
She's looking
In
for the
that
right
dark
expression.
sarcophagus.
The dark sarcophagus.
Yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises, leeching life energy from this bookstore.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us.
A tremor runs through her.
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Niha, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, ma'am, I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse, I think.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She looks perplexed.
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
The entity behind the entity. There is another entity, more malignant, pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels I will cross paths with it.
A third order presence, yes.
She lets go of the pendant.
A great, dark relief washes over her.
I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long. And definitely not in public.
She gestures for you to be silent.
I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
She performs an X-shaped cross on her chest.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes, the venture continues. In other waters. Darker waters.
Should we get out of here before the vortex collapses?
Farewell for now, book peddler. Do we get anything out of this? No money? Oh my goodness. Authority. Esprit de corps. Suggestion. Maybe we need to learn about the visual calculus. But the other things are really... I mean, the suggestions... We could manipulate them. Or the esprit de corps. We need to understand this strange world better. We need a visual calculus. Make laws of physics work for the law. Yes. Come with me, Kim. We have a world to conquer. A beautiful but strange world controlled by the entity, and we have to... Hey.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Oh, bye. See you around in it. We want to get back and give the 25 to Gati, so we can at least rest for another night when we need to. So we'll make sure we don't lose that money. Gati. What has changed you?
Can I help you?
He arcs an eyebrow. How about my bill for tonight?
Got the 20 real?
Yeah, 20 real for the night.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Ah, don't get me started on that. Goodbye. There's a bottle. We cannot take his bottle, I guess. Man. Is there? We have seen another man here. Look at that. There's something in a reflection in the window. A strange man beyond the man. A ghostly man. But not here. Not here. It could be anywhere. Hey, how do you do?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you the Harley
I am
girl?
not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right, you know. You're very pretty.
The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. She is not amused. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Okay, let's talk later. I've seen something here. At the window. What is here? You see hawthorn bushes outside, huh?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Bony
The men are
fingers.
talking, but you swear you hear those black limbs tap on the window as the wind blows outside.
Squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. You're not so sure about that. Somehow you just know there's something out there.
There's
Behind
something
the
out
glass.
there.
Yeah, your mother.
It's not a very good mother joke, but the room still laughs. Something about those mother jokes just works.
About your gaze. Hey, man.
Looks like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
circus
I
left
know.
town,
I know
but the
what you want
clowns
to
are
say.
still here.
Hardy girl and stuff. See you around. Just wanted to see if you could tell me something else, but you know. Might be time to sing karaoke. Still need to find a working class husband. Joyce. We want to talk to Joyce. And there's a smoker. So let's try this again. We'll go to Joyce. Let's run again. Kim, it's time. It's time. We'll worry about money the next day. Maybe Joyce will pay us. She's rich, you know. 20 real are like nothing for her. They are like nothing. See you. Happy gaming. Until next time when we explore what needs to be explored. What a great time to be alive, eh? What a great time.